From our North Idaho newsroom tonight, a St. Mary's couple facing charges of neglect and abuse faced each other in court today. In June, authorities found Kyra Wine with dead flesh covering parts of her hands and feet, bruises on her body, with much of her hair missing. Her mother and her mother's boyfriend are charged with abusing her. As KXLY4's Tania Dall reports, one of their pleas is being postponed.
Relatives of Kyra Wine sat in this courthouse today. They waited anxiously to find out what would happen to the little girl's mother and her live-in boyfriend.
They will be guilty to the amended information.
Christina Haynes sat in court today, visibly shaking after pleading guilty to charges of injuring her 3-year-old daughter. A plea that prosecutor Douglas Payne doesn't normally see under these circumstances.
Guilty pleas and arraignments are actually unusual in felony cases. Generally, in felony cases, not guilty pleas are entered.
Her boyfriend, 29-year-old Charles Smith, sat just a few feet away. His plea, not guilty.
Mr. Smith is charged with 2 counts, aggravated battery and injuring a child by neglect. Ms. Haynes is charged with injuring a child by neglect at this point.
In June, authorities found Kyra Wine abused and neglected. She spent almost 3 months recovering at Sacred Heart. Doctors were forced to amputate some of her toes. But today, the court wouldn't accept her mother's guilty plea, instead postponing her arraignment until the judge receives her full mental evaluation by a doctor. Defense attorneys say Haynes may not be able to understand the proceedings.
Any judge wants to be sure that a defendant is able to understand what they're doing at the point they enter a plea. If he has any reason to believe that's in question, he wants to have more information about that, and that's what Judge Gibler did.
Relatives of the little girl sat in the front row. They didn't want to talk on camera, but do say they appreciate the community's support and that Kyra's doing okay. Haynes' arraignment will continue on November 14th, and Smith's trial date still needs to be set. Reporting from St. Mary's, Tania Dall, KXLY4 HD News.